I believe everyone has received their phones by now. The annual phone storage upgrade has begun. Every year when new models are released, I upgrade one and use it myself. This is a desert-colored iPhone 16 Pro Max 256GB, Chinese version. Tear off the top and bottom seals. Let's see if the desert color looks good. This color is a bit like rose gold, but also has a champagne gold vibe. It instantly reminds me of the gold iPhone 5S. First, let's check if there's any dust on the rear camera. Okay. Take out the phone. This year's braided cable has also changed. Let's peel off the new phone film on the screen, then power it on. I wonder if you like this year's new color, if you're tired of black and white. This color is a great alternative. Okay, activation screen. This year, we still choose not to activate it directly and proceed with the storage upgrade. Power off the phone directly, remove the bottom screws. Pay attention to the charging port. It's labeled with the model number A3297. Does the China label mean it's not made in India? This year's iPhone 16 Pro series also starts disassembly from the back cover, so we place the back cover on the heating pad to warm it up. Once heated sufficiently, we use a suction cup to lift a gap in the back cover, then use a thin plastic tool to slide around the edges of the back cover to soften and separate the adhesive. It feels like this year's back cover is easier to remove, similar to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The back cover definitely integrates wireless charging, a speaker, and more. Based on the cable positions, we open the back cover, take a closer look inside. You'll notice that the iPhone 16 Pro Max's battery is not metal like the iPhone 16 Pro's. The first step is still to disconnect the battery. Locate the battery connector. You can see the positive and negative labels here on the battery connector. Let's continue disassembling to see what's different or upgraded. This is the first time Apple has placed the Apple logo on the fixed metal plate. Disconnect the wireless charging cable to remove the back cover. This back cover integrates wireless charging, a rear speaker, flash, and magnets. You can see there are no chips here, unlike the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's not like the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which required chip transplantation, so replacing the back glass is much simpler now. Next, let's look inside the chassis. It feels like this year's motherboard is smaller. Disconnect all the peripheral cables connected to the motherboard. Next, disconnect the charging port and lower antenna cables. There are also a few large screws securing the motherboard. Pay attention to the earpiece. It must be removed, or the motherboard can't be taken out. Look at these solder points. They don't look very Apple-like. Next, we remove the earpiece. The earpiece also integrates an antenna, which is fixed to the chassis with screws. Remove the external SIM card tray. The SIM card tray still doesn't have a serial number or model label. Next, take out the motherboard. Note that there are screen and sensor cables on the back. It feels different from the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Notice how the iPhone 14 Pro Max and iPhone 15 Pro Max have metal plates securing the sensor and screen cables, but the iPhone 16 Pro Max doesn't. The screen cable just falls off. Okay. Successfully removed the iPhone 16 Pro Max's motherboard. This motherboard is undeniably Apple-like. The first thing you see is the storage chip, with the Wi-Fi chip next to it. There's a large shield here, and this is the SIM card tray. Let's look at the other side. The integration is still very high. With a dual-layer motherboard, all four sides have components. Notice the cushioning foam around the connectors has changed. Below the motherboard, there's a large piece of thermal paste. Remember how last year's iPhone 15 Pro series had much less thermal paste? Did Apple make up for it with the iPhone 16? Pay attention to the screen cable's metal plate, which is on the other side. This is awkward. Does this mean every time you repair the motherboard, you have to remove the screen? Back to the topic, let's look at the motherboard. There's a significant change here. The display and touch connector is much smaller than before. Under the microscope, we observe it. It's truly Apple-like. The previous arrangement has been replaced with an alternating pattern. Let's compare it to the iPhone 14 Pro Max's display and touch connector. If it weren't staggered, it would need to be this long. This is undoubtedly an improvement, but improvements come with drawbacks. This type of connector is very prone to damage, so we must be careful during disassembly. The iPhone 16 Pro Max still has a dual-layer motherboard. Near the battery, there's an additional protective layer. Let's take out an iPhone 14 Pro Max motherboard for comparison. Clearly, the iPhone 16 Pro Max's motherboard is much smaller, but the iPhone 16 Pro Max's motherboard is slightly thicker. Let's measure the iPhone 14 Pro Max's motherboard. Find a screw post with nothing above or below for measurement. It's 2.1 millimeters. Now measure the iPhone 16 Pro Max's motherboard. It's 2.2 millimeters. Indeed, 0.1 millimeters thicker. Next, let's look at the storage chip. Peel off the cushioning foam. Here, we notice another issue. The shield's metal plate is very thin, so thin that it makes a sound when pressed. Will it deform if dropped? Peel off the foam on the back of the storage chip. It's different from the previous foam. Protect the area around the storage chip. Take out the fixing jig and secure the motherboard in it. Use a hot air gun to preheat the area around the storage chip. Process the edges around the storage chip. Apply a small amount of flux around the storage chip. When the solder points under the chip are semi-melted, pry it off. Remove the storage chip. Process the solder pads. Apply a small amount of flux and Reflow the solder points, flatten the solder pads and clean them. Take out the 1TB storage chip. This new 1TB chip is the same size as the 256GB and 512GB chips. Apply new solder balls to the 1TB chip, align the holes, apply solder paste, and heat it to melt the solder balls. Some people quietly watch videos but secretly like, comment, share, repost, and follow. Such people are truly adorable. Apply a small amount of flux to the solder pads. Install the 1TB chip, heat it until it's springy when touched, indicating successful soldering. Clean it thoroughly, remove the motherboard from the jig, peel off the protective stickers nearby, clean the motherboard, apply black glue around the storage chip, wipe off excess glue and cure it, clean the motherboard again, reapply the foam around the connectors. At this point, the motherboard is ready. Clean the internal dust, install the motherboard. Notice the screen connector is fixed, so we can directly attach the motherboard. First, connect the sensor cable at the top, align the motherboard and press it into place. Connect the display and touch connector, connect all the cables, secure the motherboard with the large screws, reinstall the earpiece and antenna. Secure the antenna with screws. Since this phone is for personal use and I'll open it again later, I won't apply adhesive. Directly reattach the back cover, connect the wireless charging cable. Some people quietly watch videos but secretly like, comment, share, repost, and follow. Such people are truly adorable. The final step is to connect the battery. Would you buy a new iPhone 16 Pro series and upgrade it to 1TB? Note that upgrading voids the official 1-year warranty. Close the back cover. Secure the 2 bottom screws. Since we've replaced the storage chip, the phone won't boot up now. Connecting it to a computer puts it in DFU recovery mode. The iPhone 16 Pro series comes with iOS 18 out of the box. For new devices, we recommend using iTunes to restore the system. Once the system is restored, the phone will reboot. Proceed to the activation screen. Manually activate the phone step by step. Some people quietly watch videos but secretly like, comment, share, repost, and follow. Such people are truly adorable. Okay, successfully activated. iOS 18 is indeed great. Let's check the settings. The new battery is at 100% with 0 charge cycles. Go to about to see that we've successfully upgraded the storage of an unactivated iPhone 16 Pro Max 256GB to 1TB on launch day. 1TB equals 1024 gigabytes, so it shows 1.02 terabytes here. Test all other functions. This year's screen-to-body ratio is significantly larger. With smaller bezels, do you think this button is useful? Another important discovery, the iPhone 16 Pro's frame doesn't attract fingerprints or get as dirty as the iPhone 15 Pro Max's. Maybe it's because of this color.